Hello, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Doing
Good.
well. Happy Monday.
Yes. About
How
to
was your
Monday.
weekend?
It was nice. It was nice. It's mainly baseball weekend for my
Oh,
boy. So, watched him play all weekend, which was fun. So,
that's so much fun.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Did they do well?
They did. They did all right. It was a double header on Saturday, and then we brought them to the Sunday game, and then they didn't fare so well in the Sunday game, but that's okay. It
Yeah.
allowed us to have the rest of our Sunday. So,
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you can always look at it that way. Okay, now we get to
yeah.
go home.
Yeah, exactly. But it
Oh,
was fun. It was nice.
oh, well, good, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a nice weekend. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started,
Okay.
and I'll put you on mute, and I'll see you in a little bit.
Sounds good.
Here we go. Okay, so we'll start off with common words. Here we go. Ready? Pack, daughter, serious, girlfriend, mad, somehow, buy, sent, tight, simply, trust, imagine, wind, chuckle, bar, pink, shove, ball, sight, drag, vade, human, truth, lower, share, area, concern, shouldn't, team, escape, mumble, often, search, apparently, sun, within, band, cute, lead, memory, anger, fly, paint, bottle, busy, comment, exclaim, avoid, grow, gray, mirror, gasp, hallway, deer, star, sick, cat, counter, interrupt, none, blink, spend, usual, worse. All right. Moving right into a word family drill. All of these words start with MIS. Okay, so I'll give you the words first. So we have mistake, misread, misprint, misdemeanor. You can either write that as MIFD or just MI, misplace, misfit, mismanage, misuse, mislead, mistrial, misunderstood, miscellaneous. All right, so here are your sentences. Ready? Put the miscellaneous books and magazines in the attic. He is attempting to mislead the witness. Do you think he will try to mislead the police officer? He was guilty of a misdemeanor. Was Kyle charged with a misdemeanor? She did mismanage her household finances. Did they misplace the documents? How did you manage to misplace your car keys? The statement in the paper was a misprint. There was a misprint in the journal. She described her brother as a misfit. The judge declared a mistrial. Was a mistrial declared in the Barrows case? I think you misread the instructions. Did he misread the program? I think you misunderstand what I am saying. Does he misunderstand the charges against him? Misuse of funds is a serious offense. The accused did misuse the victim. The bank made a mistake when they computed the quarterly interest. Did Sam Taylor make the mistake? All right. Moving right into a number drill. And these are going to be different identification numbers. I'll give you the numbers first, okay? Here we go. 1 2 1 6 9 2 8 2 4 5 6 5 dash 3 2 dash 3 0 9 8 9 0 9 5 dash 4 8 1 6 4 2 dash 10 dash 9 8 4 5 3 6 3 dash 2 6 dash 9 0 4 6 7 3 dash 2 1 dash 4 4 8. All right, here are your sentences. Ready? I'll read this once at 60, once at 80, one at 100, okay? Here we go. When my wallet was stolen, I reported it to the credit card hotline that the following cards were stolen. American Express, card number 49898002, MasterCard number 87631099, Intercity Bank card number 50930411015, J.C. Penney card number 543978823, Visa card number 547381492, and mobile card number 53248674778. Is this information in your report? Okay, so I'll read that again at 80. Okay, here we go. Ready? When my wallet was stolen, I reported it to the credit card hotline that the following cards were stolen. American Express card number 49898002, MasterCard number 87631098, Intercity Bank card number 509 304 1054. J.C. Penney, card number 543978 283. And Visa card number 5473781492, and mobile card number 532-486-7478. Is this information in your report? All right, I'll read it one more time at 100, okay? Here we go. When my wallet was stolen, I reported it to the credit card hotline that the following cards were stolen: American Express, card number 49898002, MasterCard number 876-31098, Intercity Bank card number 509-304-1054, J.C. Penney card number 543-978-823, Visa card number 5473781492, and mobile card number 532-486-7478. Is this information in your report? All right. Tangle Tamers. All right, here we go. Ready? Grand larceny, quiet enjoyment, implied ratification, emancipatory statutes, separation agreement, tangible damage, speculative grievance, contempt proceedings, unsound mind, or prevailing rule, conveyed freely, unity of possession, legal disabilities, separately transfer, specific offense, recognizable interest, criminally liable, criminal statutes, counterfeit money, servient estate, ultimately caused, ancient origin, originally vested, deeds canceled, judicially declared, sovereign immunity, privileged document, riparian rights. Okay, you guys, I have to let you know, my son just got home. He doesn't live here anymore, but he doesn't know I have a live class, and he's like yelling, "Dad!" And my husband's on a motorcycle ride, so he's not here. Do you guys mind if I just tell him, "Hey, I have a live class"? Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on. Ryan? Just leave it on the stairs. You might stick it on his head. You have to take side street. Is that to make a lot of words? Yeah. Sorry, you guys. He doesn't live here anymore, so he doesn't know I have live class. I don't know if you guys heard him. He's going, Dad. All right. Moving on to our next drill, I've got some names and addresses. Here we go. Ready? Ms. Marilyn Brumbaugh, Brumbaughh, Business Education Department, Alliance High School, 400 Glamour Lane, Alliance, Ohio, 44601. Career Center, Rubidoux High School, 4250 Opal Street, Riverside, California, 92509. Ms. Judy Packard, Packard, Northeast Wisconsin Tech Institute, 1601 University Drive, Marionette, Wisconsin, 54143. Mr. Michael Bratcher, Bratcher, Talent Search Office, P.O. Box 3629, Marion, Arkansas, 71650. Mr. Hamal Patel, Patel, 471 Piedmont Circle, York, Pennsylvania, 17404. Ms. Dolores C. Grand, Grand, 8346 South May Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60620. Mr. Patrick L. Cordon, Cordon, 4920 Brookwood Road, number 3, Youngstown, Ohio, 45412. All right, how are we doing on time? We're doing all right. Okay, I've got one last drill before we start our literary. This focuses on become, became, begun, and gun. Okay? Oh, it also has a little bit of began in there. All right, here we go. The judge became angry. I guess I should have went over how I write it just in case you don't know. Became, B long A-M. Become, I do initial B, final K. Begun, initial G, final N. Gun, G-U-N. And then began, G-A-N. Okay? All right, here we go. It did become clear. Who became confused? The cat began to meow. He'll become a judge. Her eyes became sad. Her gown is becoming. The witness became excited. Did he become annoyed? Try to give them the gun. He pointed the gun. The story has begun. Don't shoot the gun. It was a toy gun. Has the play begun? They found the gun. The cross has begun now. The defendant became tired. It becomes exciting later. The ship is gun metal gray. It has begun his direct, or he has begun his direct. The job became permanent. It began to rain. The gun was hidden. The trial has begun. Where is your gun? We began to run. His face became red. Become qualified now. The child began to shout. I became a reporter. Don't become irritated. It became clear later. Will you become upset? Will this become a habit? The gun is a .38 caliber. The hearing has not begun. She began to run. Don't jump the gun. It has begun to rain. Vote for gun control. We became engrossed. The color becomes you. It became important. She began to beg. It became necessary. I'll become a doctor. It became difficult. It soon became apparent. He began to cry. Use a gun, go to prison. The man began to holler. We have only just begun. The reporter became upset. What will become of me? He began to pray. Stick to your guns. I have begun to care. The dog began to bark. He bought that gun. It is a hunting gun. The act has begun. My gun was stolen. Right. Moving right into literary. Okay. This literary piece, I'm going to give you a word list, okay? You guys are going to hear tender, collateral, legal. The brief for that is L long E-L, leal. Instrument. I usually just write that as S-T-R-U-M-T. Payer, note, draft, exchange, maker, check, employee, payee, promissory, security, negotiable. All right. So I'll read this one at 80. Okay. Here we go. Ready? A check is an instrument used to transfer money from one person to the other. Any form of legal tender must be accepted as payment. A bill of exchange is called a draft. A promissory note is a written promise to pay a specified sum on a specific date. Security that is pledged for a note is called collateral. The payee is the person to whom a check, draft, or a note is made payable. The one who orders payment is the maker. The one who pays the check, draft, or note is the payer. All right, this next one that I read to you, I'll read it at, I'll read this one at 100, okay? All right, here we go. Let me give you a word list. You're going to hear crust. Actually, you know what? No, this is not the one that I wanted to read. Hold on, that's a little bit too difficult. Let's see here. Yeah, this is it here. This is part 3 of the metals. So I've read part 1 and 2 in other classes. This is part 3. Okay, so you're going to hear gravity, tarnished, centuries, chemical, decorative, alloyed, lead, tin, protective, abundant, utensils, aluminum, magnetic, nickel, zinc, corrode, and lightness. Okay, I will read this at one. Actually, let's see here. Yeah, I'll read this at 100. All right, here we go. Aluminum is the, oh my gosh, today's like the day. I don't know if you guys can hear the lawn guy. He's next door. Sorry about that. If you guys can hear it, I apologize. He's got the leaf blower next door. Okay, here we go. Aluminum is the third most abundant element in the Earth's crust. The truly outstanding property of this metal is its lightness. The specific gravity of aluminum is only 2.7 as compared to 19.3 for gold. Objects made of aluminum do not easily corrode. Aluminum is an ideal metal for making pots, pans, utensils, and decorative metal trim. Zinc, lead, and tin are very much alike. They lack tensile strength and are soft. Zinc melts at 419.5 degrees, lead at 327.4 degrees, and tin at 231.9 degrees. All 3 of these metals are normally used as protective coatings on other metals. Nickel is normally alloyed with other metals to take advantage of its resistance to chemical attack, its toughness, and its magnetic qualities. Nickel steels are among the strongest and toughest known. The United States coin, the nickel, is less easily tarnished than any other, as it contains 25% nickel. The rest is copper. Nickel-copper coins have been used for centuries. All right. We'll go right into jury charge. Subject here is mental incapacity to contract. Okay. And you're going to hear, let's see, defense, D-E-F-S, influence, F-L-U-N-S, competent, I don't have a brief for that one, but you will hear that, reasonable, R-A-E-N-L, incompetent, proper, P-R-O-R, examination, I write that as X-A-G-S, previous is P-R long E-V, prev, you're going to hear jury, evidence, EFD. That's it. So I'm going to start this at I almost said 200, at 60, and then work my way to, I'll work my way to 80 because it's only one page. Okay. All right, here we go. Members of the jury, there is the second defense here that Joseph Briggs was incompetent and that he was easily influenced. There are a great many men who are easily influenced and a great many men that nobody can influence, but they are all capable of doing business unless they are so incompetent that they do not understand the nature of the transaction. Men who are easily influenced and have money generally lose it, and the public and those who deal with them are not bound to be their guardians if they deal in good faith. If Mr. Foster paid his money in good faith to Mr. Briggs, he is entitled to recover it, unless Mr. Briggs was so incompetent that he didn't understand the nature of the transaction and didn't know anything about what he was doing. If he had a reasonable acquaintance with the nature of borrowing money and giving a note for it, he could handle his own business and be bound by it until he was declared incompetent by some proper court and put under guardianship. Now, was he in such mental condition at the time that he gave this note as not to be capable of understanding the nature of the transaction? It does not make any difference if he was afterwards declared incompetent. The examination that was mentioned here was after the date of the transaction and would not affect any date before that time. The fact that a man is declared incompetent today by a court does not show that he was incompetent yesterday or at any time previous. It is for you to say here now, as a jury, on the evidence presented to you, whether Joseph Briggs was, at the time he accepted money from Mr. Foster, in such a disturbed mental condition that he didn't understand the nature of the transaction. All right, what are we doing on time? I'm going to read one more at 100, okay? All right, so this one will be at 100. And this is going to cover condemnation proceedings. Okay, so you're going to hear constitutionality, sufficiency, so sufficient SUF, and then you just come back for either S long E or SAE. Let's see, United States is UNS, validity, proceedings, compliance, desirability, statutory, requirement, constitution, discretion, legislative, lawmaking. Let's see here. I gave you constitutionality. I think that's about it as far as the larger words go. You're going to hear 10th Circuit, parable. You're going to hear certiorari or certiorari. I've kind of heard it both ways. Certiorari or certiorari. Okay. Wichita from Kansas. All right. I think that's it. Here we go. I'm going to read this at 100. If the issue in this case is the constitutionality of the statutory provision made for taking the property, its constitutionality seems clear. If, as I assume to be the case, the issue is the constitutional sufficiency of the statutory 10-day notice by publication of the hearing to assess the compensation for the land taken, I consider such a provision to be within the discretion of the law-making body of the state in weighing the due process of condemnation procedure. Some reasonable balance must be struck between the needs of the public to acquire the property and the opportunity for a hearing as to the compensation to be paid for the property. Just compensation is necessary, but the length and kind of notice of the proceeding to determine such compensation is largely a matter of legislative discretion. The minimum notice required by this statute may seem to some to be inadequate or undesirably short, but it was satisfactory to the lawmakers of Kansas. It also has been upheld by the Supreme Court of Kansas and the United States Court of Appeals for the 10th Circuit. To prescribe it of the federal Constitution fails to allow adequate scope to local legislative discretion. Accordingly, while not passing upon the desirability of the statutory requirement before us, I am not ready to hold that the Constitution of the United States prohibits the people of Kansas from choosing that standard. Particularly, I am not ready to throw a nationwide cloud of uncertainty upon the validity of condemnation proceedings based on compliance with similar local statutes. Since 2009, it has been settled that notice by publication in condemnation proceedings to take and to fix the value to be paid for the land of a non-resident comports with due process. I agree with the court below and with the opinion of the Court of appeals for the 10th Circuit rendered in the comparable case of Collins versus Wichita, which came to our attention at the last term of court, and in which certiorari was denied. Therefore, I would affirm the judgment here. All right. And then certiorari is spelled Certiorari. All right, so we'll get right into Q&A. Okay, I'm going to start off with, this is defense questioning. Okay. All right. And I'm going to read this at 60, and I'm going to work my way to 100, okay? So I'll hit 60, 80, and then 100. It's about 2 pages long. Okay, all right. Here we go. It's just Q&A. Was this upon your request? Well, probably indirectly. When you got there, you went to see some particular individual, correct? Yes, I believe you asked me for a name. I have 2 names here. No, it's one name written twice. Don Campbell. When you went down there, you went down there with the specific intent to examine a particular gun, which you believed was involved in an accident and a power supply. Is that correct? Yes. From what you can recall, that was the specific question that you put to this Mr. Don Campbell? Yes. And you believe he is the one that directed you to the particular work area? No, I suspect there was another man there, and Mr. Campbell had this other man direct me to the area and point out the power supply? Yes. And point out the gun? Yes. In regard to the power pack, what portion of the power pack did you look at in order to determine the model number and the serial number? I believe that was on a tag on the exterior of the power supply. This was a paper tag attached to the power supply unit. I don't recall, but I don't think it was. No, actually, as I think about it, I do recall it was a metal tag that was in some way attached or fastened to the supply unit itself. Yes. Do you recall how the tag was attached to the supply unit? I don't know exactly. It was flat to the surface so that it could not be easily removed. It must have had some sort of adhesive on the back. I know there were no screws. When you indicated a tag on the gun, was this also a metal tag? That's my recollection, yes. You indicated further that there were two areas where there were numbers tagged to the gun. I don't believe I did. I thought you indicated that there was one area that was totally obscured and there was a number there. I think you misunderstood. There was an identification tag on the gun, which seemed to carry two numbers. Because of the amount of paint that was present, I wasn't certain of either of the numbers. I read them as best I could. You're not quite sure whether there was a representative from Grayson there on that first occasion. Is that correct? That's correct. What makes you believe that there might have been? Well, I can remember being in the room with Mr. Kern at least once. I know he was there when we packed up the equipment. The point that makes my memory uncertain is that I recall him taking photographs of the room, and I was a little worried, but I don't recall what day that was on. On the second occasion, which would have been January 20, that also took place at the same location? Yes. What took place on that date? That's the date, as I recall, that he and I together did only as much disassembly as was necessary to get the equipment into, I think it was 2 cardboard boxes. He is who? Mr. Kern. That's the only thing that took place. I think you mentioned photographing. Yes. Well, if there was photographing done on that day, it was Mr. Kern. I know I remember him taking pictures in the paint booth area at one time, and those are the only two possibilities. So assuming that the photographing took place on the second occasion, do you recall what items he photographed besides the spray booth? No, sir. I stood near the door at the time, so I didn't watch what he was doing. Did you observe him do anything other than take photographs? Well, as I say, he and I worked together in the minor assembly. How are we doing on time? Good, we've got a little bit more time. Okay, I'm gonna switch transcripts. So that one I started at 60 and worked my way up to 100. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to start at 80 and work my way up to 100, okay? And let's see here. Let's see now. Okay. Let me just date this. All right. Let me give you a word list. You're going to hear Air Force, Army, Navy, Dallas, Fort Worth, Tylenol, Texas, Houston, boot camp, Marines, maneuvers, obstacle, San Antonio, codeine, winters, Barton, physical, sensation, numb. Okay. All right, here we go. Again, this will just be a plaintiff question and answer. We'll start at 80, work our way up to 100. Now, Stephen, can you recall the exact date that you went into the service? Yes, it was November 17, 2009. What branch of the service did you go into, Stephen? The Air Force. Had you considered other branches of the service, like the Army, the Navy, or the Marines? Yes, I had investigated all the branches, but decided on the Air Force because they could give me the kind of training and travel opportunities that I wanted. Now, when you joined, were you considering a 4-year hitch or some other length of time? 6 years or any other time? I knew I would be in for 4 years, maybe longer if I liked it. Were you required to attend boot camp? Yes, I was. Where did you attend boot camp? At the base, right outside of San Antonio, Texas. How long were you there for boot camp? About 3 months, but it seemed like forever. At some point in time during this basic training, you were injured while performing some physical exercises? Yes, I was. Please explain to us what happened exactly. I was involved in the obstacle course and field test maneuvers. I was attempting to scale a 10-foot wooden wall when I somehow lost my grip and fell to the ground. How far would you estimate that you fell, sir? About 8 feet. Did you land on your feet? Yes, I did. But my left leg was somewhat twisted. It buckled under me when I landed. I lost my footing and then fell to the ground. Were you able to get up and walk? No, when I tried to walk, the pain was terrible. Did anyone come to your aid? Yes. After about 5 minutes, another boot camp person came over to my assistance. He helped me over to where the drill instructor was standing. Were you then escorted to the base hospital? Yes, the drill instructor told 2 of the other guys to help me to the base hospital. What was the nature of your injury? My leg was broken in 3 places, and I had a dislocated shoulder. Were you transferred to Houston at that time? Yes, I was. How long did you remain in Houston? About 3 days, while they ran some tests and took more x-rays. What was your physical condition at that time? I was in a lot of pain. My leg was all swollen and my shoulder ached constantly. Were you given any type of drugs to relieve the pain? Yes, I was given codeine and morphine every 3 hours. After your stay in Houston, where were you transferred to? They sent me to the Air Force Hospital near Dallas for further treatment and observation. How did you progress? Not very well. After 2 weeks, I was still in a tremendous amount of pain. I couldn't sleep at night without pain meds. Was a specialist of any kind called in to examine your leg and your shoulder? Not that I know of. What doctors do you recall attending you in Houston? Dr. Barton and Dr. Hawthorne. What doctors do you recall attending to you in Dallas? Just Dr. Gregory. He came by every morning to see if I was doing better, but that was it. When did you first begin to experience loss of sensation in your left lower limb? I first noticed it about 3 weeks after the accident, when my foot was always numb. I mentioned this to the nurse, who notified the doctor. Did they remove the cast at that time? Yes, they did remove it and began another series of x-rays. Was a specialist called in at that time? Yes, Dr. Winters from Fort Worth. All right, so I would say most of that was 100. I only read 80 maybe for the first 10, well, I'd say maybe the first 10 to 15 questions and answers, and then I went right into 100. All right, let's see here. How'd you guys do? So,
Okay.
okay. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Nora.
Hi.
Hi.
You guys did just okay?
Yeah.
I think I got most of it.
Good.
I didn't drop anything, but I had some misstrokes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little on the challenging side, you know, especially when they're talking about Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force. So that definitely was not your typical easy car accident, you know. Well, do you guys have any questions?
No, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you guys. I know Robert is going to post it. Usually we have class from 9 to 10 on Wednesday. It's my daughter's birthday, and she lives in Pismo Beach. So I'm going to surprise her and drive up at a high school up there. And I'm going to drive. My husband's like, hey, because she's always lived by us. Like she's always lived, she used to live in Huntington, but he said, let me drive up there and surprise her. And I said, okay. So I asked Robert. He's like, yeah, that's fine. So
that'll be fun.
yeah. So
Happy
I'll be
birthday.
back the Thursday. So we will have class Thursday, but it'll just be from 5 to 6 on Thursday.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope you guys can still, attend. So 5 to 6 on Thursday.
Okay.
What will the speed be for that?
That'll be the mid speed. So 120, 140, 160.
Okay.
And then on Friday, we'll still have our same from 9 to 10. We'll have the high speeds.
Okay.
Okay.
So instead of Wednesday, we'll have it Thursday.
All right.
Does anybody else, I just wanted to ask, you guys can just say yes or no, but I write so much better with live dictations than the recordings. Do you guys find that too when you're?
I think it varies for me. I think it's hit and miss for me.
Yeah.
It's just more 50-50. So.
Maybe I've just spent too much time with recordings.
Yeah.
I do prefer live dictation. Yeah, I was really excited when I heard you were going to be doing the live classes.
And do you tend to like those better, the live classes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see why it would be easier to write to live because you are more engaged because it's live, Like I would think that makes sense.
Well, you can't rewind, and it also sounds more human, where a lot of recordings are just very rote, and there's no inflection and pause, and do you know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. Because even though we're talking like you are there, it's still different. When there's nobody there, it is different,
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that. And Nora, are you holding your dog? Is that a dog or a cat?
Yeah, it's a dog.
Oh, I thought it was because it's still the green screen. So all I see is like a silhouette. Oh, what kind of dog is it?
He's a mixed breed, part terrier and part chihuahua.
Oh, I can just see his little ears like on the silhouette, like pointy ears. Oh, what's his name?
Butters.
Butters. He's right going, hey. Where's that coming from? Oh, well, all right, you guys. You have a great night. And so instead of seeing you Wednesday, I will see you Thursday.
Okay.
Have fun with your daughter.
Thank
All right.
you.
Have a fun road trip.
Thank you. Yes, we're excited. We're going to totally surprise her. So
Awesome.
she'll be so happy.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be great.
So we'll see you at 5 o'clock then on Thursday.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
See
have
you.
a great night. Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 Bye, Butters.
Bye.
Oh, bye, Nora.